JOE MAZUMDAR Exploration Insights, again at PDAC 2016. Now we're going to look at a gold play with a blend of copper on a project that's being developed or looking at being advanced called Romero, operated by Goldquest Corp. And we're going to talk to the chairman,
Hi Joe.
Bill Fisher.
Good to see you.
How's it going, Bill?
Oh, really good, really good.
And so Goldquest, this is not your first time in the Dominican.
No, we've already built a copper mine in the Dominican Republic called Serra de Memon, which we sold to the Parilla, the Australians. That was in 2008, and that was under the Mining Act, 100% owned by the company, working extremely well, very smooth. And so when with the new discovery we've made, we take the local politicians to go and look at a mine that we've already built.
So did you take that project, Serra Memon,
Yep.
from exploration, feasibility study to building and then sold?
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Okay, and that's the same sort of thing you're trying to do with Romero.
Exactly. Yeah. That was found by somebody else. In this case, we found this ourselves in 2012. It's one of the newest discoveries in the world at the moment.
Okay, so what is Romero?
Romero, it's a system. It's about 3.2 million ounces of total gold equivalent, of which 70% of that is gold and 30% is copper. It's a brand new discovery. It doesn't come to surface. We found it through geophysical techniques, and that was in 2012. And now here we are, at this point we're doing the pre-feasibility level, looking to go towards development. We've started the permitting.
When would you put out the pre-feasibility study?
That's coming out in May, in a couple of months' time.
That's your next big catalyst?
That's the next big catalyst, yeah.
Right.
And then the feasibility study, we're funded to go to feasibility at year end, at the end of 2016.
Is when you would deliver it?
Yes, when we'll deliver it, yes.
So how, you're saying you're fully funded to deliver the feasibility study?
That's right, but I certainly want to finance before then to make sure we don't run our treasury down too low. As we all know, in these difficult times, we have to make sure that we have sufficient money and the sufficient human resources as well, which we have to do what you need to do.
Are most of what you're doing right now is studies? You're not doing any more drilling or anything?
This thing's been drilled off. It's remarkably well drilled off. It's 2/3 of the whole project is at the indicated or higher level, the higher level of certainty. And that can roll into the pre-feasibility study when we'll make our maiden reserve calculation that comes out in May.
Well, a pre-feasibility study versus a feasibility study, then the PFS usually has some options that are still out there, and then the PFS gets optimized. What are the options that you're still looking at in the PFS?
Well, the PFS, we're looking at a mine expansion. To start with, the key here with these times when the industry's access to capital is limited, is to get yourself into production in the smallest, cheapest way possible. Then if the market develops, then you have plenty of options for expansion. The mine plan we have is only about 1.2 million ounces or 3.2, but the expansion plans will take a lot more of that into the plans.
So less upfront capital and more expansionary capital.
Yeah, so if things go well, you can then do an expansion and apply capital, deferred capital, to increase the benefit of the whole project.
And this is an underground, potentially underground. And what's the head grades that you're looking at for copper and gold?
The average head grade is 5.4 grams of gold equivalent, but in the best years of it, we'll be mining over 10 grams per ton of gold equivalent.
Are the best years early or late?
Early. Early is 2 to 5 are the best years. The stopes here, or the underground openings, will be 15 meters wide by 20 meters high by 50 meters long.
Right.
So therefore your cost per ton is extremely low. Hence our all-in sustaining costs are $572 an ounce, and our cash costs per ounce are $400,
wow,
which is really extremely low on an industry-wide basis.
So how much money, capital in your scoping study does it suggest you need to build this project?
It's about $150 million, which should be very achievable for this project. The rate of return is 34% rate of return, and a 2.7-year payback.
Was Memon a similar project to this?
Memon was smaller than that. That
was a gold copper?
Yeah, it was a gold copper. In that case, copper was like 80% of the deposit. In this case, copper is 30% and gold is 70%.
So what's the throughput of this one?
This will be, to begin with, 2,500 tons a day, and with it provisioned for expansion to 3,500 tons a day.
Okay. And so your next catalyst will be? The
next catalyst will be the pre-feasibility study, and the maiden reserve calculations will come out in May. Also, we are doing exploration in the belt as well.
Okay, so you're still drilling outside?
Not so much drilling, we're doing project generation. The belt is 50 kilometers long. It's about the size of the Timmins belt in Canada.
Yeah.
Never been explored because until we made the discovery in 2012, nobody knew there was a belt at all.
Right.
So our geologists have now come off the drill rigs and now exploring the whole belt. And we're going to be doing a very large IP program, which is the geophysical technique that discovered Romero, because there's no surface expression at Romero.
Right.
So we're looking to cover the whole belt with this technique, which has never been done in this part of the world before. So let's hope we can build on the success we already have.
Okay, well thank you very much, Bill. I appreciate it.
Nice to see you, Joe. Thanks for coming by.
All right, cheers.
Bye-bye.
So Goldquest, with the gold and the copper, actually they're probably co-products, but it really generates a low all-in sustaining cost. The upfront capital looks to be small in terms of the 2,500 ton per day throughput, so that might get optimized during the PFS. But overall, it looks like this project could generate a pretty good return. So it's maybe someone will be watching going forward, but as they said, that they might need to raise funds to make sure that they have enough money for the feasibility study before year end. Thanks.